Hey fellas of YouTube, this is Robbie speaking. It came. The One Piece live action series on Netflix, one season of 8 episodes. Now, let's be real here. When we first heard about One Piece getting a live action adaptation, we all just rolled our eyes. We were just like, no. One Piece cannot be adapted into live action, especially since it could be really cartoony and wacky. And so it's just one of the last animes that you think would not do well in live action. I mean, Death Note. I saw the Death Note movie years ago, hated it. Cowboy Bebop. Well, I only saw the first episode of the Cowboy Bebop live action. I just could not get past that first episode. And, you know, Cowboy Bebop is kind of grounded. It's not cartoony or wacky like One Piece is. So to see that not do well, you're like, okay, then One Piece will definitely not do well. But then the trailer came out, and if you haven't seen like my video on me talking about the trailer, how much I liked it, I was just like, okay, I'm giving this a shot. And I binge watched all 8 episodes, and here's what I have to say. There were a lot of good things about the One Piece live action. I mean, there were some flaws that I will address, but overall, this is actually not a bad adaptation, especially since Oda, the creator of One Piece, he actually oversaw the production. He was actually behind the scenes working on this, so I can definitely see some things that Oda touched upon. Spoiler warning, if you have not seen this season, you might want to, because we are going deep into spoilers, so here it is. So this is pretty much the very beginning of One Piece to right before Logtown. Logtown is probably going to be the beginning of the next season, if they do a next season, because, I mean, let's face it, they're going to. We have that setup with Smoker at the end where he has the cigars and he's using one of the cigars to light the wanted poster of Luffy. That was really cool. And we also have the stuff with Baroque Works. Like, there's just so much setup for the next season. I mean, I don't know how far they're going to go into. Like, I don't know if they're going to go to, like, where we are now in One Piece with the manga. I mean, I don't know because of just how old the actors will be to that point. But it was just interesting to see where Luffy started. Like, looking back at where he started to where he is now in the manga at Egghead Island. I won't spoil what happens at Egghead because some of you guys don't read the manga, or maybe some of you guys are just, maybe this is your first time with One Piece, and just anything One Piece, like, oh, I'm going to check out this live action adaptation. And yeah, this isn't a bad start for you guys at all. One of the great things about this show was the casting, especially from the guy who plays Luffy. He was silly, he was also passionate. Just every time I saw this character, this actor, I saw Luffy. He really captured that spirit of who Luffy is. That he is a guy that will always protect his friends, but also act so immature during his downtime. That is Luffy. The guy who played Zoro. Zoro is just a guy who doesn't give a shit, it seems, to being loyal to his friends. And Nami, the only thing about Nami, though, is that I hope in the next season that she gets naggy and greedy. But, you know, other than that, though, she did capture the emotional side of Nami, especially in, like, it was like the second last episode where she is dealing with Arlong and she, like, stabs her tattoo, like that was really good. Usopp being a total liar and a coward, and then Sanji just, you know, being dedicated to his cooking and also flirting with girls. Though I kind of wish he did the flirting a bit more, but either way though, he was still a total badass. And some of the other characters, the actors outside the main cast, they were pretty cool too. Mihawk especially, he not only looked like Mihawk, but he acted like Mihawk. He was just perfect. Buggy was hilarious as always, and just Arlong was just menacing. All of them were just amazing. Well, not all of them. I mean, the only thing that I think was a little out of character was Garp. Now, the guy who played Garp was good, though there were a couple times where I thought he was just out of character, and I'll get to that later in the flaws. Another thing that this did like one of the great things about this was that it captured the feel of the manga and the anime. Despite it looking different, it still captured that feel. Yeah, it does things a bit differently, like oh, we're at this story arc, but we're gonna do things a bit differently. Like, it doesn't follow that pattern. And so maybe that's because Oda just wanted to do things differently. Like, maybe this was his second chance to fix something. And so some of these changes actually kind of were a bit better. Not all of them. There were some things where I was just like, why would you change that? But some of them were like really cool, like with Buggy's Circus. The Brontier was really cool. Just being at this like really fancy restaurant, just it made me want to go to the Brontier myself. Like, I just want to eat there and maybe have a couple drinks. It's just that type of place where you would want to hang out. Arlong Park, it just looks like this frightening place, especially with like seeing those chains. That's another thing though too, is that this show is not afraid to get dark, just like One Piece is. Despite One Piece being silly at times, it's also can be dramatic. I mean, when Buggy has those chains on those people trying to make them laugh, I was just like, damn, this Buggy's a bit scarier than the one in the manga and the anime. The action was just holy shit. Especially with Zoro in that bar in the first episode, where he's just going up against those Marines, and he's not even using his swords that much. Like he just uses a stool to just trip a couple people, then just grabs one of the Marines and just bangs his head against the bar. I also love seeing Sanji fight when he's just using his feet to fight pirates and all that. The reason why I don't know if this is addressed in the series or not, like the season, but the reason why Sanji fights with his feet and not his hands is because he doesn't want to damage his hands because he uses his hands for cooking. Okay, now on to the stuff that I did not like. And I already mentioned the special effects earlier. Another thing though, and this is going to make the video a bit longer, is the whole side plot with Garp, Koby, and Helmeppo. Now, again, I enjoyed these characters. I thought the actors portrayed them well. I just thought their roles were stretched out too much. It just took away from the stuff going on with the Straw Hats. Like, oh, we're transitioning from what the Straw Hats are going through with Karu to Garp and Koby playing chess. Like, come on. I'm just sitting there like, are we going to get back to the main story now? And Garp has a total tantrum, just tearing apart his office. I thought, like, that was just so out of character. Like, Garp, you would not do that. But that Garp's, the revelation with Garp being Luffy's grandfather was just revealed too soon. I thought that revelation could have been saved for way later. Another complaint that I had with this was that some of the stuff that happened in this series, like, I understand they wanted to do things differently, and a lot of it worked, but then there were some things where I thought the manga and the anime did it better. Like, say, they took certain characters out. Like, one of the characters that I was really, really shocked about was Hachin. He was if you guys know who I'm talking about, in the anime and the manga, there's this fishman named Hachin, who's a octopus fishman, who's also a swordsman. You guys know who I'm talking about, because he actually played a big part in the Arlong Park arc. You know, he fought against Zoro. Like, it would have been nice for Zoro to fight against a fishman swordsman. It's like the impossible just happened, guys. It's like we finally got a good live-action adaptation. But will this be the only one? Because there's more on the way, and I'm still nervous about the Yu Yu Hakusho live-action adaptation that we are supposed to get in the near future. I'm just so nervous about that, guys. But if the trailer's good, maybe I'll talk about it, and maybe I'll see it at least the first episode or two, and if I like it, watch more. If not, but that's a whole different discussion, guys. Overall, this one was just good. It was just good. It honored the source material while also doing different things. And so I'll give this a 7 out of 10. Now let's see how the next season goes, where we introduce more characters like Chopper, Robin, Dragon, Crocodile, Ace. Like, so many characters. So many, like, reoccurring characters are going to be introduced in the next season. If we get to Alabasta. If we do. I don't know, but I have a feeling, though, we're going to get to the stuff with Chopper, you know, Drum Island. Man, that was a really good arc, though. Just it gives me something to look forward to. So, yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. What did you think of this? Did you like it? Did you not? Thoughts down below. And if you are new to this channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Rob A, and may the anime force be with you.